Alright, hey guys. Today I want to show a little bit of tech here with Mika's command throw. It's going to be really important to understand why you want to use each command throw over the other. She obviously is half circle back plus punch. And if you notice, what this does is it actually swaps the sides that Mika and her opponent are on. If you do the kick one, it keeps the opponent on the same side. One thing you will notice, however, is that the punch one, for example, this is heavy punch. Hard punch will do 180 damage. Hard kick will do 150 damage. So the punch ones do more damage, but then also punch ones is that it does switch you, and if the opponent is on quick rise, you see where the opponent gets up. They get up way over there and you lose all sorts of momentum. You have to get all the way back in again. And that's not what Mika wants. If you do the kick one, especially the heavy kick one, you can actually go right in again and grab them right off the floor. This is something that r.mika was showing on Daigo's stream yesterday. And not only that, but if they try to jump away, you can actually catch them out of their jump with a meaty strong that way, because you are +2, and it'll actually catch them before they jump. It'll catch them in their pre-jump frames, and you get to do a long combo on them that you can hit confirm. Not only that, but it's also important to note that Mika is a character who's going to want to keep you in the corner as much as possible. So if you ever do the punch command throw in the corner, this is a problem. You've lost your position, you've lost your momentum, you've given the opponent a lot of ways to escape. So this is not a good situation. What you want to actually have happen is to stay in the corner with kick ones if you can. So if you get the opponent so that they're blocking, always try to go for the kick command throw. However, the one thing that's really hard to tell, and that it's really hard to notice, is that the EX punches have the longest range out of all of the command throws. So if I make them block that towards heavy punch, which is +2, afterwards, if I try to grab with the jab one, I'll miss. But if I do EX punches, hang on a second, if I do EX punches, and if I try to do any of the other ones, the rest of them will all miss, right? So this is light kick, this is EX light kick, they all miss. The only one that reaches by default is the EX punches. This is a problem because it's throwing them out of the corner, and as I said, you're losing a lot of momentum, so it's not good. So if you want to know what the ranges of the command throws are, basically it's EX punches, light punch, medium punch, heavy punch, EX light kicks, EX kicks I should say, light kick, medium kick, and heavy kick. So that's basically how it works, how you would expect it. EX, hard, medium, light for punches, EX, light, medium, and heavy for kicks. So what ends up happening here, I mean, I have a whole bunch of different setups that I can show you. For example, if I do this into light punch. Oops, I'm not doing that fast enough. There you go. Light punch, that grabs, right? So in that range, that grabs. But if I do the medium one, it misses. I can keep doing all these tests. I had all these setups. For example, if I do this into jab, if I do light kick, it misses, but if I do EX kicks, oops, let me do that again. If I do EX kicks, it'll throw. So what happens here is you want to use the kick ones, but there's a lot of situations that she has. For example, this setup here, which is really nice because on a charged drop kick, she's +2. So that jab will interrupt what they're doing, and then you want to go for a command throw, but you notice your command throw whips. So you're like, all right, fine, I'll do light punch instead. You grab them, you send them away, it's a problem. Okay, so what I'll do is this. I'll do this, take a step, and then I'll do the light kick. The problem with this is it's not particularly accurate, and when you walk up to the opponent and try to do the command for the light kick, command grab, you're actually losing some frames, because after you finish walking forward, you have to do the code. The fastest you can do the code is 5 frames, basically, because you need 5 separate frames for all separate motions, which is forward, down, back, back. So that's got to be at least 5 frames. So you're giving up 5 frames by walking up and doing the code that way. So how do you fix this? I don't want to do the punch one. I don't want to do the punch one. So is there a way to mitigate this? And the way that you can actually do this is, if you notice something, listen to my controller here. Like if you hear this part of the joystick, if you hear that, like I can actually delay it a little. I don't have to hit the button at the same time I get to back. You can hear that a little bit. There's a delay between my back and the button press. This is just what's known as standard input buffer, input leniency. You have a little bit of time that you can actually wait before you hit the button. The nice thing about the way that Street Fighter V recognizes codes is that as long as that code is in there, that's all it cares about. So it actually turns out I can do backwards half circle into forward. So if you guys are used to, for example, Guilty Gear, this is how you do a Potemkin buster motion, half circle back forward. I can do the same thing. And if I just don't delay it for too long, I can actually get the throw. So you can see where this is leading. What makes this work really well now is in this kind of a situation where if I do this throw, it won't work. And if I walk forward and try to throw, I'm giving up a few extra frames when I get into range. Not only that too, but because of that input leniency, if I hit the kick button too late, I can actually walk into range and walk back out of range because of that leniency. So the reason why this works really well now is if I can actually do that Potemkin buster code, half circle back forward and then light kick, as soon as I get into range, I hit light kick, I will throw right away. So I'm not losing any frames, and it's really, really fast. It's much faster. And this is going to be very important because now I keep him in the corner here. And it's much faster than if I actually do this walk forward and command grab. You can see a little bit of delay here. So now, you'll see I did it the wrong way. So there was a little bit of the delay. But if I do the Potemkin buster method, now I can take a step and grab almost instantaneously. Now if you also notice, I'm also walking, you can see a visible walking distance before I grab. When I showed this setup before, I showed you that the EX1 misses. EX1 has better range than the light kick one. So I don't even need to walk forward at all. Like, you can't even see Mika move forward. But when I do that Potemkin buster method, look at that. It didn't even look like I moved. But I do the kick version, I'm out of range. So if I go back forward plus 3 kicks, it grabs so fast, and I get to keep the momentum, and I don't have to worry about losing the corner position. So this is actually a really, really important technique to learn with Mika, in my opinion. In fact, for example, if I go low jab, the punch one will reach, jab will reach right there. So let's go back to the middle of the screen. So punch one will actually reach. And I can't quite get it with, see right there, I just did the kick one. It requires almost precise positioning, but if I'm pushing the opponent to the corner and they block 2 low jabs, most of the time they know you're pretty safe from getting thrown. So opponents won't respect you after 2 low jabs. But if you use this Potemkin buster method, I can actually get in there like that and throw them as fast as possible with as minimal time as possible. And again, if I use the EX kicks, I can grab super fast. So when I push them out of range like this, most people are like, well, I can't get command thrown by Mika, so I'm safe to block now. So low jab, Potemkin buster, and the EX kicks. There you go. So by using this technique, this allows you to walk forward, maintain a bunch of distance, and to be able to keep the mix-up going. So like I said, this is +2. So +2, that actually gives me 2 frames to kind of walk forward and actually still get the throw. So again, at this range, the punch one will reach, but you lose the position, and so maybe the opponent will be willing to take that. But if you learn this method, which like I said, I call it the Potemkin Buster method, because that's how you do Potemkin's special command throw in Guilty Gear, which is half circle back forward. Because like I said, there's a little bit of delay between the joystick and when you hit the button. So you can actually do half circle back forward plus button, so you can actually get the kick throw as fast as possible. So there you go. That's, oh, some people are saying it's +3, so this thing is +3. So that even gives you way more frames to walk forward. Now it's a little tricky because you can see I might not be in range. And it's going to take a little practice to do to get the timing really good. But I think if you learn how to do this, it's going to make Mika that much more potent, because this will keep you to command throw in ranges. I honestly feel like they purposely did a lot of these great setups here so that the kick one was out of range. I don't think this is an accident at all. I'm pretty sure they calculated it perfectly. But if you use the Potemkin Buster method, you can add a tiny bit of range by walking forward about 1 or 2 frames to add some distance and not lose any time. Because as I said, if you normally do it just by walking forward and doing the command throw, you're losing 5 frames to do the command. And that gives the opponent that much more time to jab you out of it. So there you go. There isn't really a downside to doing it with that method, because to be honest with you, it'll still work. Like, that's the punch one, right? I just hit the button right away. So if you really want to, you can just pretend that's the motion. But the thing about it is, don't forget that you want to put a little delay when you do the kick one. Like that, for example. You have to put a little delay between the forward and the button. But if you plan to do the punch one right away, so like say your back is to the corner, you can do that motion anyway, no matter what, if you just want to make sure that you're always used to it. So that's a really good technique for Mika to learn how to extend the range on that command throw without losing any time. It's not a carrot cancel, but it does allow you the least amount of time to take an extra step, extend the range on the throw, and catch the opponent. Keep them in the corner, keep the momentum going. Of course, like I mentioned, if they quick rise, you can dash forward and get a perfect another command throw. And you can just see how this basically in general just gives you a better momentum. And if you grab them with the punch when you send them out of the corner, so that's bad. In any case, that's this technique for a little bit of extra throw range on Mika's command throw. Again, works super well with EX kicks because it has just about the same range as medium punch and heavy punch command throws. There you go.